everyone. This is Joey, the Veiled Cottage Witch, and welcome back to my channel. As you can see, everything is different. The remodel went amazing. Thank you to everyone who helped me set it up, everyone who helped give me the time I needed to kind of feel the space and just to be more present. I am so happy with the way it turned out. As you can see, all the walls now have insulation and are painted. My wife and I worked on the painting. We worked on putting up the shelves. And then I had some help from some lovely members of my coven that came and helped me arrange everything. I am just so grateful for all the help. I'm grateful for the remodel. It is hot outside, but in here it is lovely. Just absolutely lovely. I don't even have my ceiling fan on. No windows are open. And the AC isn't running, and it is almost 11 o'clock. I'm amazed at the difference, and I am comfortable, and hopefully now my clients, students, friends, and family are more comfortable in here as well. So that has been a big thing, a big transformation in my life, and I'm so happy that it turned out so well. So on to this wonderful video that I have for you today. We are going to be talking about learning from oracle cards. Now, I know there are a lot of you out there that just don't have time to read books and books and books on certain subjects. You know, herbs, crystals, animal spirits, and all of that. This is a way that those of you who are overwhelmed by textbook style books and just dry information, this is a way that you can learn with the help of visual aids. So I always needed that when I was learning. Visual aids are amazing because they put it in your brain. They put a picture in your brain to go with the information that you're learning. It's a wonderful system, and I will tell you personally that I have learned tons from oracle decks. A lot of my oracle decks I don't even use in a divination sense at all. Sometimes I just use them for magical purposes, like correspondences. When I don't have the right moon phase, I might pull from my Moonology oracle and set that up on my altar to let me know, get that vision in my head of, let's say, a dark moon if it's really a full moon. So I have already done a video on using oracle and tarot for magical purposes, so I'm not going to get into that on this one. This one I am strictly talking about learning. So I'm going to go through a few of my decks here as examples for you and hopefully inspire you to learn from your oracle decks. It's just a wonderful and fun way to learn. So the first one I've just mentioned is the Moonology oracle cards by Yasmin Boland. I myself don't follow the moon in a strictly astrological sense. And by that, I mean, if it is waning, I'm doing banishing workings. If it is waxing, I am building, attracting, and manifesting. That is pretty much as far as I go. So with that in mind, I can kind of take all the mystery out of that by using these cards. So they have, for instance, this one is full moon in Cancer. And let's say that It says a personal issue reaches resolution. So let's just say that I want to learn about the sign of Cancer as aspected by the full moon. Well, I can use this. I can grab the handy guide that comes with every oracle, and it can help to kind of bridge that gap of not understanding to, oh, I get it. I understand now. And linking this picture with what you're learning, it really makes a nice little bridge to, not be overwhelmed by all the information in books that are out there. There are lovely authors that go into detail, and it's very, very helpful for some people. However, others like myself like to have a picture to go along with it. So that's what this deck will do for you. So you can learn that a new moon in Scorpio is for working through your fears, right? New moon in Pisces, meditate and contemplate. So you can go about this a couple of different ways. There's a long way and a short way. And so I'm going to show you each. So the longer way allows you to integrate it more fully. Okay? The quick way allows you to just get little spurts of information. So I would say if you are serious about wanting to learn a subject, I highly recommend doing it the long way. Nothing worth anything is done quick and easy, right? We have to work at things. We have to allow our brains to absorb that information, right? So the first way, the long way, or the more thorough way, if we want to say it that way, is to get your cards in order from the very first card to the very last. And then you're going to go and you're going to sit down with a notebook. Oh my gosh, Joey, you're giving me homework already. I know, but hey, homework is how we learn, right? So I'm going to give you homework. But it's up to you to do that work. Right? If I say, I am going to learn all 44 of these moon cards, I'm wanting to take 44 days. And I'm going to grab the first one. Let's see, which one is the first one? I'm going to go through my entire deck. The first one is New Start, New Moon. So I'm going to grab that card. And I am going to read, as I am looking at that card, I am going to read all about that new moon. And watch, I can't find it. I knew that would happen. But, that's okay. I think you understand what I'm saying. So, when it gets to going through each new moon, so you understand what the new moon is, and then you can move on to, let's say, new moon in Aries, new moon in Pisces. And taking the time to read the information that is given, you can take your journal and you can write down what speaks to you. I am not asking you to copy the book into your notebook by any means. What I'm talking about is reading the guide and saying, okay, this is the basic information that I need, right, to understand that moon phase. So you're going to read through it and you're going to write down what speaks to you. Not everything will, and that's okay. That's what the wonderful thing about witchcraft is that you do not have to write everything down. you only you are in charge of what you learn, right? So if there's something in here about crystals and you don't work with crystals, don't worry about it. Don't write it down. Don't think, oh, just because this author wrote that down, it must mean that I must know it. No, follow your heart. Write down the attributes that make sense to you and your practice, right? Because it is your practice and no one can dictate to you how to do your practice. So that long form is reading it, reading the description, starting with the first card. And every day you're going to read about a new card while you're studying that card. Maybe you read, you write some notes down, and maybe you set that card on your altar and you dwell on it. Maybe you meditate about it, for any extra information that you need. That's a perfect way to learn, but give yourself time. Don't learn 3 cards in a day. Learn just one. And what that does is it allows your brain to process, to really take in and absorb that information before you go and put another card in your brain, if that makes sense. So the Moonology Oracle card by Yasmin Boland is a wonderful start. And now we'll go to astrology. If you know me, I am not, it's too much math for me to be fluent in astrology. It's just not for me. However, I can take the time and learn a little bit here and there about astrology without it being overwhelming. It can really be crazy with all the, excuse me, with all of the ways to read your birth chart, and it's overwhelming. So I got these cards and I actually did modify them to be much smaller and easier to handle for my tiny hands. So I did modify these. And so, going through here, I can see Saturn return is age. And so I know nothing about Saturn return. So again, I'm going to number these, and I'm going to make sure that I have them in order so that I can learn them one by one. So I'd already covered with the Moonology deck the long way to learn. Now we're going to go with the short way. And this way is a little bit more geared toward my divination witches, if you will. So what I'm going to do with this deck is that I'm going to shuffle them, right? Forget the order. We're going to do things quick, right? We want short flashes of information, nothing too serious, okay? And then I'm going to choose a card just like I normally choose a card with my receptive hand. And, today I got Taurus. I have. So I'm going to grab this. I'm going to put it in front of me so that I can see it. I'm going to look up, that's number 14. And I am going to take my journal again. You thought you were going to get out of journaling in the quick way, didn't you? No shortcuts. So I am going to, again, read it through. And I'm going to write down the information that speaks to me. So in this way, it's a little bit more fun. This way, I can learn about what this card means and how it pertains to me on this day at this present moment. So this way, you're kind of already practicing divining with these cards, but you're learning what you're divining. from it. So that's two different ways that you can learn. I hope that made sense. So in the one way, the long form, the more thorough form, you have your cards in order and you're doing one at a time each day. The quick form, you are divining what cards you learn, and you're still doing the same thing. You're still journaling what is important for you, and you're still looking at the card, so you're still putting it in your brain. So that's the gist. That's it. I am going to show you this deck, the Black Moon Astrology cards, Susan Shepherd. And I'll tell you, they were huge before I modified them. And you're going to see a couple other ones. So I'm just going to go through some examples of some great learning oracles. So the next one I'm going to talk about is the Crystal Inspiration deck. Now, I don't have the hardback. I have this nice little bag here. I don't have the container anymore, unfortunately. This was during my phase where I wanted everything to be mysterious and me to just put all my decks into different bags. I no longer do that. I now keep them in their original boxes for no other reason other than they store better that way. No other reason. So the Daily Crystal Inspiration Oracle deck by Heather Eskinosi is a beautiful deck for learning crystals. So, you're going to get these up close and personal pictures of these crystals. Sorry, those are reversed. Whoops. So, I'm sorry, I have to show you the backs of these. They're so fun. Learning is supposed to be fun, y'all. And then they have little sayings down here and I like these. This one is Citrine, Bring in the Light. So these are going to be almost, the little taglines are going to be a way that you can remember, okay, bring in the light. Citrine is very much for positivity and optimism. So I'm going to go and I'm going to think about that. That is going to tie it to the meaning, not just of the card, but to the crystal, so that you can learn. This is a wonderful way. One of my favorites, labradorite. Here, see the magic. Now, to me, that doesn't mean much, but I haven't gone through this entire deck in its completeness. I tend to use crystals as with color magic. So I know if it's a blue crystal, it's going to help me with my throat chakra and expressing my creativity. So again, you could get a deck that is specifically for chakras, and they have them. But these are really nice to divine from and learn, or to simply do it the long form, getting them all set up in order, going through the book, making sure you're writing that down. Especially if you do the quick form, the divining that crystal, maybe that's the crystal you need to carry throughout the day, right? So, weaving a little magic into learning never hurt anybody, right? So that's a crystal deck for you. Next, we have one of my favorite goddess oracle decks, and that is the Goddess Power Oracle by Colette Baron Reed. This deck is gorgeous. So a nice full guidebook and a little even smaller box, little nesting in there. Oh, look what's on top. One of the goddesses I am working with right now, Danu, Assurance. Love her. So again, you can do the quick form where you draw, and that's maybe the goddess archetype that you need to work with today or that you need to get to know. You can take as long as you want with these. These will get you out of your box because you're going to learn about different goddesses that maybe are not in the pantheon that you normally learn about or that you're comfortable learning about. So this gets you out there and gets you a little bit more cultured as to the feminine deities that are worked with around the world. So this is a lovely deck to learn from as well. Just a few more that I want to show you guys. Please don't think that you have to get all of these decks because you don't. But these are the ones that I've learned a lot from. All right, this one is The Wild Unknown Archetypes by Kim Kranz. One of my favorite decks is the Wild Unknown Tarot. And this deck is so unique. I can't wait to show you guys this deck. Absolutely phenomenal. This guidebook is so unique. So you can see that it has all kinds of information down the side, at the bottom, across the top. Again, write down what speaks to you. Okay, I'm breaking out these cards. You guys, this is the box. These are the cards. So these are archetypes. So this really helps if you're into Jungian psychology and you like the idea of working with the archetypal figures, right? So, for instance, we have the eternal child. Oh, these are so beautiful. If you like the artwork of Kim Kranz, you're going to love it. The empty room, the prayer. And look at the back of these cards. They're like a diamond. I love that. The threshold. Yeah, this book, you can learn a lot about different archetypes. And again, you can, take this if you're doing the short form and say, okay, this is the archetype I need to embody today. I've learned a lot from this deck, and I really appreciate all the information that comes with it. So that one is The Wild Unknown Archetypes. Big chunky boy there. And then I have a couple of plant and animal decks. This one is the Druid Plant Oracle. I've shown this deck off before on this channel. Look at this guidebook. It's huge. And I really, really like how it's written. If you can see, you've got the picture and you've got the descriptions. And then there's a nice little story to put it in context for you. What a great way to learn, right? And this is a deck, and the next one, that I have modified. And I will show you why, just to let you know. Look at these cards. They're bigger than my head. Okay, so it came with some extra cards, and I thought I could draw some plants that are important to me. However, I don't draw. So now I just use them as an example of before and after. I'm silly that way. So I have modified these to fit in my hand. And so here we go with mugwort, one of my favorite herbs to use. Betony, cuckoo pint, vervain. I could go through the whole thing, but I won't bore you with that. But this is a great deck to learn if you're into druidry. like I am, then this is such a wonderful way to learn your plants. From healing plants to baneful plants, all are covered in this. And so you can, again, short form, draw a card, and that is the plant spirit that needs to work with you today. You know, it's so fun to learn this way. I hope I'm inspiring you guys. That is my whole reason for this. So a couple more. This is the Druid Animal Oracle. They really, really knocked it out of the park with this deck. I'm so impressed. So impressed. So you can see that. And then if you open it up, gotta show you, it looks like a story. How cute is that? You know, I loved little golden books as a child. And if I can find an oracle that's written in that format, it makes my inner child oh so happy. So this is a wonderful deck to learn from. Again, I modified them, but you know, you can short form, you can choose whatever card you need, again, upside down. And that is the animal spirit that you're going to work with. And if that doesn't speak to you, you can do them in order. I would just recommend you concentrate on one a day. You know, that is my recommendation. That is going to help your brain absorb that information. So don't forget about that. Don't overwhelm your brain. It is precious. So this is the Druid Animal Oracle by Philip and Stephanie Cargom. And I don't think it's also the same person who made the Druid Plant Oracle as well. Same people. And I love to be able to learn different things in divination card method. You know, it's just, again, putting those visual aids. So now I'm going to share with you the last deck that I am actually working on right now in dedication to a deity. So what do I mean by that? So I have been working with Danu, the Celtic Great Mother. And one of her sacred plants are mushrooms. So I bought the Mushroom Spirit Oracle, and I am devoting every day. I am learning a different mushroom. I'm doing long form. I'm starting with number 1 and going through all the mushrooms. And then I am learning about them. I'm learning their medicinal qualities, their magical qualities. I'm learning whether or not they are poisonous. I am learning where to find them. It's been such an adventure. I'm really excited. So here is, okay, first of all, the backs are so cute. Are you kidding me? I love it. So I'm learning. I learned about the turkey tail. Let's see. I haven't learned all of these yet, but look at these cards. You know, how better to put images in your brain by learning. Isn't that wonderful? And it's such an easy and quick way that you can drill them into your head, right? So this is the one that I am working on in dedication. So when I have my morning dedication, I learn a mushroom for Danu. So I think that's even a third way of how you can make this a dedication, make it a devotional thing. And so learning the mushrooms for Mother Danu. That is the quest that I am on, and I'm so enjoying the journey. So those are some ways that you can learn from Oracle decks. If you have any ideas about future videos, questions, or just want to give a shout out, make sure you comment down below. Hit that like button if you enjoyed this video, and subscribe if you want to catch all my videos as they're released. I thank you so much for clicking on and for joining me in this learning adventure. And look for new, interesting, fun videos coming up. So thank you so much for watching, and have a blessed day.